Does life ever feel like a storm you just can't control? Like you're being constantly knocked off course, pulled in 1,000 different directions, just reacting to things instead of actually shaping your own path? But what if you could become the eye of that storm? What if you could forge a mind so resilient it becomes unbreakable, turning the chaos around you into a sense of calm and finally taking control of your own destiny? The ancient Stoics figured out the secrets to doing exactly that. And today, we're going to walk through 7 of their most powerful habits. For over 2,000 years, from Roman emperors leading armies to prisoners of war, surviving the unimaginable, Stoicism has been a practical guide for not just getting through life, but thriving in the face of whatever it throws at you. Now, this isn't about suppressing your emotions or becoming some kind of detached statue. Think of it as a battle-tested toolkit for building mental toughness and a deep sense of inner peace. These aren't just abstract ideas, they're concrete daily practices that build a strong and virtuous character. They help you live in harmony with the world, not just for your own sake, but for the sake of others too. In this video, you'll learn the 7 Stoic habits that have been used for centuries to build an unbreakable mind. Let's begin. Habit 1. Focus on what you can control. The first and most fundamental habit of all is learning to see the line between what you can control and what you can't. It's a simple idea, but it changes everything. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus laid it out perfectly. He basically said, your opinions, your choices, your desires, your actions, those are yours to command. But your body, your reputation, what other people think, the circumstances you're born into, those are not. Think about it in today's world. You can't control the stock market, the traffic that makes you late, or if someone decides they don't like you. Wasting energy on those things is a recipe for anxiety and frustration. It's like yelling at the tide to stop coming in. But you can control how you react to a market crash. You can control how you use your time stuck in traffic. You can control whether you act with integrity, no matter what anyone else thinks. Your actions and your mindset, that's your kingdom. A perfect example is a job interview. You can't control if you get the job. The interviewer might be having a bad day, or maybe they've already picked an internal candidate. Those things are completely out of your hands. But you can control how well you prepare. You can control the research you do, the honesty in your answers, and the professional way you carry yourself. When you pour all your energy into what you can control, your preparation and your character, you free yourself from the stress of the outcome. Whether you get the job or not, you walk away knowing you did everything in your power. That is the first step to becoming unbreakable. Habit 2. Practice misfortune. Premeditatio malorum. The second habit sounds a little dark, but it's one of the most powerful exercises for mental resilience ever created. Premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of bad things. This isn't about being a pessimist. It's about being a realist and a strategist. The Stoics knew life is unpredictable. We lose jobs, relationships end, we get sick, and our best laid plans fall apart. The Stoic philosopher Seneca warned that the unexpected blow is always the most crushing one. The practice is simple. Each morning, take just a moment to visualize things going wrong. Imagine the big project you're working on fails. Imagine your car breaks down. Imagine losing something you value. The goal isn't to create fear, but to do 2 things. First, to truly appreciate what you have right now, and second, to mentally rehearse how you'd handle that adversity with courage. By regularly practicing misfortune, you're essentially building up an immunity to the shock of failure and loss. When setbacks happen, They don't break you, because you've already been there in your mind. You've already thought about how you would endure, how you would adapt, and how you would overcome. You take away misfortune's greatest weapon, the element of surprise. Think of it like a fire drill. You practice for an emergency, not because you want a fire, but so you know exactly what to do if the alarm ever rings. By preparing for the worst, the Stoic is free to genuinely hope for the best, knowing they're ready for whatever comes their way. Habit 3. Journal your thoughts. One of the most powerful men in history, the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, had a private ritual. Nearly every morning, while on the brutal front lines of a war, he would sit down and write. He wasn't writing for an audience or for publication. He was writing for himself. That private journal became one of the greatest works of philosophy ever written. Meditations. This is the third habit, journaling as a way to talk to yourself. Your journal is a private space where you can untangle your thoughts, prepare for the day ahead, and reflect on the day that has passed. A Stoic journaling practice, inspired by Marcus, might look something like this. In the morning, you prepare for the people you'll encounter. Marcus would write things like, "Today, I will meet with people who are meddling, ungrateful, and arrogant." He wasn't being negative. He was preparing himself to meet challenging people with patience so they couldn't disturb his inner peace. Then, in the evening, you can review your day with an honest eye, as Seneca advised. Ask yourself, what went well? Where did I fall short? What bad habit did I resist? What virtue did I practice? This isn't about beating yourself up, but about gentle, honest self-assessment. Your journal becomes both a mirror and a map. It shows you who you are right now, and it helps you chart a course to the person you want to become. It's the training ground for your mind. Habit 4. View obstacles as opportunities. The fourth habit is a radical mind shift that can turn every challenge you face into a source of strength. The Stoics taught that the things standing in your way can become the way forward. Marcus Aurelius put it beautifully. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Most of us see an obstacle as a roadblock. It's frustrating. It's a reason to get angry, a reason to quit. The Stoic sees it completely differently. The obstacle isn't blocking the path. It is the path. Imagine you're trying to get a promotion, but a difficult colleague keeps undermining your work. The normal reaction is to get angry and frustrated. The Stoic response is to see this person not as a problem, but as a training partner. They are an opportunity to practice patience, an opportunity to hone your communication skills, an opportunity to learn how to lead and persuade even the toughest people. The challenge is forcing you to develop virtues you might have otherwise ignored. This mindset turns your life from a series of things happening to you into a series of things happening for you. A business that fails becomes a masterclass in humility and strategy. An injury becomes a lesson in patience. A tough conversation becomes a chance to practice courage. When you embrace this, you become a kind of alchemist, turning the lead of hardship into the gold of character. Nothing can truly stop you, because every barrier becomes a bridge. Habit 5. Practice gratitude. In our modern world of endless wanting, the fifth Stoic habit is a powerful cure. Actively practicing gratitude. And this is more than just quickly saying thanks. It's about deliberately shifting your focus from what you don't have to what you do. Epictetus, who was born into slavery and knew incredible hardship, taught that a wise person doesn't grieve for the things they lack, but rejoices for the things they have. This idea cuts right through our consumer culture, which is always telling us we need one more thing to finally be happy. The Stoics knew that happiness based on external things is fragile. True contentment has to come from within. Gratitude is the tool you use to find that inner wealth. A simple way to do this is to follow the advice of Marcus Aurelius. Don't just dream about having things you don't possess. Instead, look at the best things you have right now, and take a moment to remember how badly you would crave them if you were to lose them. Think about it. The clean water you drink, a roof over your head, the simple fact that you're alive and can think and feel. These are things we just take for granted, but if they were gone, we would desperately want them back. Gratitude is about feeling their immense value right now. This habit literally rewires your brain. It replaces the anxiety of "I want" with the peace of "I have." It builds resilience because when you are truly thankful for what you have, the fear of losing it starts to fade. Habit 6. Speak less, listen more. The 6th habit is all about how we interact with others, and it's a cornerstone of wisdom. The founder of Stoicism, Zeno, said it best: "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we should listen more than we say." In a world that is so loud, where everyone is broadcasting their every thought, the Stoic practice of thoughtful silence is a superpower. It's not about being shy or having nothing to add. It's about understanding that wisdom doesn't come from talking. It comes from understanding. And it's impossible to understand while you're the one talking. This habit has huge practical benefits. First, by listening more, you simply learn more. You see things from different perspectives. Second, you build far stronger relationships. People feel seen and respected when you actually give them your full attention. And third, you avoid so much trouble. Think about how many problems are caused by saying the wrong thing at the wrong time. By speaking less, you give yourself a moment to pause, reflect, and make sure your words are useful, true, and kind. Imagine a heated meeting at work. The reactive person jumps right in, gets defensive, and usually makes things worse. The Stoic, on the other hand, listens. They try to understand where the other person is coming from first. They let the emotional heat die down. And when they finally do speak, their words are calm, measured, and way more persuasive because they're built on understanding, not just reaction. Try it. In your next conversation, make it your goal to listen. Pause before you reply. Ask yourself, is what I'm about to say necessary? Is it true? Is it helpful? Mastering your tongue is a huge step toward mastering yourself. Habit 7. Remember your mortality. Memento Mori. The final and perhaps most powerful Stoic habit is also the most sobering. Memento Mori. It translates to, remember that you will die. Now, this isn't about being morbid. It's a profound tool for living a better life. The Stoics believed that if we keep the reality of our own death in mind, we live with more purpose, more urgency, and more appreciation. Marcus Aurelius wrote to himself, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." That thought isn't supposed to create fear. It's supposed to create clarity. It instantly strips away all the trivial, petty nonsense we get caught up in. When you remember that your time here is finite, you stop putting off what actually matters. You stop wasting hours on pointless arguments, mindless scrolling, or holding on to old grudges. Does this fight really matter in the face of my limited time? Am I proud of how I'm spending this one precious day? This practice gives you 2 incredible gifts. The first is priority. It forces you to figure out what is actually important to you. The second is appreciation. Knowing that this moment, this conversation, this sunset won't last forever makes it infinitely more beautiful. Memento Mori is the ultimate call to action. It urges you to live fully, to love generously, and to act with virtue. Not tomorrow, but right now. Because right now is all you ever really have. These 7 habits, focusing on what you control, practicing misfortune, journaling, seeing obstacles as opportunities, practicing gratitude, speaking less to listen more, and remembering your mortality, are not just ancient ideas. They are a practical blueprint for building an unbreakable mind. This isn't something you perfect overnight. It's a lifelong practice. Just like a muscle, your resilience gets stronger every time you consciously use it. Start with just 1. Try it today. Then, when you're ready, add another. By weaving these timeless principles into your daily life, you learn to navigate any storm, not by hoping the winds will just die down, but by becoming the anchor that holds firm no matter the weather. You discover that real strength, real peace, and real freedom aren't found by trying to control the world outside, but by mastering the world within. If these ideas resonated with you, subscribe for more ancient wisdom for modern life, and let me know in the comments. Which habit will you start today?